Rolling through the Midwest, got the hops in line. On day you dig deep, pouring knowledge in the rhyme from the brewery to the bar. We bring the heat, crafting perfect brews to our cities on the beat. Spinning all the news, we keep it fresh and raw. Liquid golden hands, raise your glass for the law. Popping that sharing wisdom with the kings of the tape. With every sip we take, there's no time to waste.
Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit. Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit.
Yeah. Hopefully you got your heads nodded like my homeboy Dave right now. And welcome back to another Saturday night Midwest Beer Show in the house. So, yeah, tonight we're going to get into some of the news out of the Midwest and also more outside the Midwest. I think we got more stories from maybe outside the area.
Yeah, we got some. We got a couple doozies in here.
Yeah. We may just have to bear down. You'll know what I mean by that in a little bit. Right? We'll be talking about a story that'll be covering, let's just say, the bottom end of things. So
yeah,
we'll leave it at that for right now. But hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. We are on the opening weekend of the Olympics as well. I don't know, Dave, if you've been watching any of that at all or catching
No, not really. I'll get into it when hockey starts. But yeah, right now I don't watch anything else really. I'll just watch out of the winter. I'll watch like the men's hockey.
Yeah, I watched a little bit. I turned on Friday during work. It's funny because it's in Italy, so the hours to them versus us is kind of weird. But ended up catching part of the curling match of us against Canada. So we ended up winning the match against Canada, and apparently the American team was undefeated. But I don't know what it is with curling, but I find it intriguing. I mean, it's really just like basically shuffleboard on ice, but yet I get pulled into it, and I'm just like, it's like cornhole on ice. It's like it's just horseshoes on ice, whatever you want to call it. It's just like intriguing to see how they got to place these stones down there and knock other people out and stuff. But it's a fun time to actually watch and check out. But outside of that, I don't really do figure skating, or I do some of the speed skating I'll watch once in a while. Some of the downhill skiing or whatever. I watch that. Everybody's kind of want to see what Lindsey Vonn does on her comeback now with a torn ACL. What a story that'll make. If she ends up winning gold, that's a movie right there. Her with a torn ACL. So bobsleds are always fun. You know, kind of watching how they go down. The luge is always fun, but I'm not going to lie. It's like going to NASCAR. Sometimes you watch the luge and the bobsled for the wreck. It just happens. It's just part of nature. So anyway, hopefully we'll see how everything pans out with that. But the Olympics, tomorrow we got the Super Bowl. So we got that happening as well. So we'll talk about some Super Bowl beers and stuff like that tonight, and how to maybe get your party tricked out the right way if you're looking to bring in some of that frosty beverage. But a lot of stuff happening this weekend. And you, like me, my friend, we've been getting through some crazy snow days and stuff too. So I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for it. Don't hesitate, spring. Come on out. I'm surprised somebody didn't fry up that groundhog for him saying 6 more weeks of winter, because that's what I would have done, right to the frying pan. Yeah. Put it right to the cast iron.
That's it. You're gone. Fire up the grill. There you go.
Which is 2026. Why are we still listening to a groundhog anyway, right? Well, I don't know about your weather people. My weather people, it's just about as bad because they can't nail anything right. It's like one day it was supposed to snow, it didn't, and one day it's not supposed to snow, it did, and it got people screwed up here. So anyway, I digress. We are all here to enjoy the great beer stuff. And I'm going to actually crack open a beer that I posted online earlier that I picked up because I was really happy to see is finally canned after a number of years. It's going to be from Mad Tree, and it's going to be their Axis Monday Imperial Stout. I'm going to start with this one here. 9.5% ABV.
Look at you going big.
Go big or go home, right? Yeah. So this was done with Deeper Roots Coffee. They did a collab, coffee and vanilla, and Mad Tree knocks it out of the park. I mean, they're like, I would say the top two in Cincinnati are probably Mad Tree and Rhinegeist as far as putting the beers out there. And this one has never disappointed me in the past. And now that it's out here, I need to go to the brewery there because they should have some variants that should be pretty good as well. So, but, I do stouts all year just like you do. But, for a lot of people, this is stout season. And then I don't know what you're drinking over there, Dave, what you got going on.
I just got the regular Firestone IPA. Just want to go a little West Coast right here.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got that too, but I might have one of those afterwards on the back end, because we are going to do a joint little sample review with one of the Firestone beers. Shout out to Sean and the Firestone crew that sent us over some beers to check out for some of their new releases. Always appreciate them. So shout out to the people in the chat too. Shout out to Carohead in the house. Hey, my friend. Cheers, brother. Cheers to Simo. Up late tonight over there in the UK as well, but it is the weekend, so why not? Why not be up late? Cheers. Been a while. Yes, everything well here. Hopefully it is there too. Bobsled was funny. I didn't see what happened there. So if they did anything, I'll have to definitely check that out for sure. Oh, wow. 3-4. So it was only one guy on the bobsled. That's not good. That's not good. It was light. It was probably going fast because it was light, but yeah. Supposed to be all four in it. Lose, you can go one. Interesting. I'll have to sit there and watch the antics for that. That's going to probably be Sports Center, not top 10.
Yeah. You've been trained for 4 years. How do you not get into bobsled? This is all you do. Even the Jamaicans got into bobsled, and they're in Jamaica.
I was like, Jamaicans probably like, look at these amateurs.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man? You got to get in the bobsled. Can't do it from the outside, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is first weekend of February, a weekend. Don't forget, especially you guys out there. It's a week out from Valentine's Day here in the States, so don't have the significant other yelling at you and anything. Make sure you get that all celebrated. But Valentine's Day will be coming up next weekend. So any big plans for you and your missus there, Dave?
No, we don't really do anything. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll just go out and grab a bite somewhere, but we'll have to see. But that's usually the night you got to make reservations. So if we're going to do something, we probably better make it now. Don't wait until Friday night to try to get a reservation for Saturday, because that ain't going to happen.
Right.
You'll be getting the White Castle reservation. They sell you like the plate of sliders they get to put out the white tablecloths at White Castle on Valentine's Day.
Hey, don't knock White Castle. There's a lot of people that apparently go there. They roll it out every year, and it's like white glove service or something people say. So
yeah, I'm a fan. I stopped there this week. So I grabbed a little lunch this week. I took the dog with me. So that's good. We both enjoy a little bacon slider.
There you go. Sometimes I'll pick up their jalapeno sliders at the store and just microwave them at home or so. But
all right.
That's a little White Castle. But before that, tomorrow, as I mentioned, of course, the Super Bowl. Now, I haven't really watched the NFL for a good number of years. I kind of fell out of it, a lot of it. One, following the Colin Kaepernick stuff, and two, following just like, to me, it's not even football anymore, really. The way it's like, you must just put flags on the guys out there running around and just watching some of the stuff. And then seeing some of the officiating occasionally over the last couple of years, which seems to have gotten worse from stuff I've seen. If things are a catch or not a catch, you can't hit a guy, you can't touch a quarter. It's just like, why are we watching this? Why are we still calling it football at this point? But, it is what it is. But we talked about the Super Bowl. Now, this is a piece you found from the Washington Beer Blog about what patrons can expect at Levi Stadium in February. And
you could tell this is all, AB InBev, so they must own the rights at the stadium. But, you look at this, you got Stella, that's AB, Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, Golden Road, Goose, and Shock Top are all AB InBev.
Right.
Kirin and Leffe. I know Leffe was. I'm not sure about Kirin, if they're part of the AB InBev family. I thought they were on their own, but I'm not 100%. But, if it's a Super Bowl, it says their normal price for a beer is $14, but you got to figure for the Super Bowl, you're spending $20-25 a beer. I don't know. That's not good beer right there. $20-25.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they jack the price up.
Yeah, but it said what the lowest ticket price on like a StubHub is over $3,000 right now. So if you could drop $3,000 on a ticket, you could afford $20 on a Golden Road, Faithful Blonde, or whatever the hell they serve.
Yeah. You know what? I think Kirin is on their own, but it might just they got in because of them being an import possibly. Yeah. But isn't it Kieran that owns, I think, Stone, I believe? Or is that the other one? That's Sapporo owns Stone. Yes,
yeah.
Right. Sapporo owns Stone.
I'm not sure if Kieran and Sapporo are together or not.
No, they're not.
Too much of who owns, which, international breweries.
No, they're not. I'm trying to think. Kieran does own. Is it New Belgium? Maybe.
Yeah, they own like New Belgium. Sapporo, right. I think, owns Stone.
Yeah, Sapporo owns Stone. Kieran, New Belgium. So they're not under AB and Bev, but they own a few. So yeah, but you're basically dealing with the macro lineup at the stadium.
Yeah,
which is interesting in itself. That's one thing I'll say. Like here in Cincinnati, and when I was in Baltimore, you did have spots for craft breweries to have their craft beers in there, but here it's just like pretty much, macro or go home type situation, which is sad to see. Now, if they would have like Bourbon County style on tap, I'd be like, all right, we'll allow it this time. But you can't even get Bourbon County stout there. So, which I don't think you want to have some of those fans drinking Bourbon County style at the game because that's a lot of extra work for the security guards afterwards, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they do have the Hunkers Ale. You talked about the Hunkers Ale you wanted to check out when it came back, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Honkers Ale. So that one's good. Low ABV beer, but that one's really solid. But, I can't imagine, it's Super Bowl. You're not getting your traditional fans. These are mostly corporate and bigwigs, so they don't really care what they're drinking.
Yeah. And it does make note on here, likely to shoot up for the event for the vendors and stuff. So, yeah. Nothing like gouging being part of capitalism. So yeah, expect to pay more for beers you shouldn't really pay more for. But what are you gonna do? No Sam Adams in the house.
No.
Oh yeah. So let's see here. Keep it funky in the house. Cheers, homie. Great to see you as well, my friend. Oh, you should have heard my intro earlier. You gotta check out the intro, son. You gotta be here on the start because I know you would dig the intro we got now for the show. I'll get you the sample on it. Keep it funky. Another great channel to check out for beers, as well as Simo, and check out Kettle. Kettle's always got something. Kettle grills all year round. I mean, there's nobody that grills more than Kettle does. Kettle, it's wintertime. It don't matter. Snow around the grill. He's out there in the weather. He's working it. So shout out to him. Shout out to Shakila Hussein. Welcome. Cheers. Great to see you. Welcome. Great to have you on board. So yeah, so that's kind of talking into the Super Bowl for tomorrow there. And then I'm going to keep with the Super Bowl theme, because this is something I actually found out there earlier. Didn't know if you had a chance to scroll through it or not, but kind of interesting because you want to have your Super Bowl party. If you go to Super Bowl party, you want to try to get on point as best you can, right? So here's a few tips out there because you can still make that run to the store tomorrow before the big game. But the best beers to bring the Super Bowl party coming from the spill, according to professional brewers. We went to the professionals. I mean,
they went to the pros.
The pros on this one. So you guys tell us if you think the pros got it right on here on some of this stuff. So taking a look at some of the stuff here, I'm going to scroll down. Brian Donaldson, Brew and Innovation Manager at Lagunitas. He recommends the Summit Brewing Extra Pale Ale. Now, keep in mind, not everybody's going to have these breweries where they're actually at, but if you have some of these styles, they might pair up nicely. So he recommended the Extra Pale Ale. Wings, good matchup for that with this one here. Hops cut through richness. Beer can handle it. 5.1 ABV on this one right here. So low enough you can still have a few and see the entire game as he puts it. But, you find different beers you want to try to match up if you know what the food is that's going to be served. So Extra Pale Ale as a style seems to usually be pretty good to have for something like wings. What are your thoughts on that there?
Yeah, it's a beer I've never had. I mean, Summit, one of the OGs, but they're just not around. So like that, I know they list a couple Sierra Nevadas here, the Pills and the Pale Ale you can't go wrong with. I mean, you'd like to get something local from where you are if you're having a gathering at your house, but there's some good national brands like the Sierra Nevada Pils is killer. And then one a little further down the list that I agree with because I just picked it up myself.
Okay. Well, Wesley Keegan, founder and owner at Tailgate Brewery, which is a great little brewery out of Nashville, Tennessee, by the way. If you like peanut butter beers, highly recommend checking out what Tailgate does. They do some of the best peanut butter beer recipes out there. But Sierra Nevada Pils, as Dave kind of referenced here, that he mentioned here, is another good one to actually have that can actually match up well. Classic friendly beer that everyone can approach. It goes down very easy, clean finish, cheesy pizza, spicy wings, nachos. It'll work with it, you know. It's not there starting any trouble. It's not like tequila when tequila gets into a party and things start breaking, you know. Sierra Nevada Pils, very friendly.
Yeah.
Rich Buchetta, owner and creator of Single Cut Beersmiths. Now he came in with something a little bit different with the Peroni. You don't see the Peroni get recommended out there a lot, but it's an Italian pale lager at 5.1.
Yeah, you're not rolling the dice with a skunky green bottle on the Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl. You need, especially if you're the host, you don't want to be serving bad beer. And Peroni on its own, solid beer.
Yeah.
I'm not rolling the dice on Super Bowl. I need to know, so I'm not taking a chance with a green bottle on Super Bowl.
But if you are a Seahawks fan, it's got the Seahawks colors for you.
That's all right. That's all right. No, I'm not rolling the dice with a green bottle.
Yeah. I wouldn't say go to green bottle as well, but they talk about this one having a nice balanced hop bite and then pretty much.
Oh, it's a solid beer.
Yeah. A no guilt macro beer, as he calls it there. I'm like, dude, aren't you at a craft brewery? Why are you recommending a macro?
Yeah.
And then for those of you got to hit that Costco, right? Get those Costco appetizers. Kristen Holbrook, technical brewmaster at New Belgium, says the Kirkland Lager. So there you have a Costco beer actually being recommended out there with the Ellis style, 4.5% ABV. And I've not had this one. Have you had this one?
Yeah, that won a GABF Gold. It's brewed by Deschutes, so it won a gold a couple years ago. Then they rebranded it to this Kirkland. So it has pedigree. It's a really solid beer. 12-pack of it you could get for like $13. So it's inexpensive. This is a beer, like I know I had a buddy of mine was talking about like he was having a Christmas party, before the holidays. And I said, if you're going to Costco, grab that one. It's a Helles. It's not offensive. It's a beer tasting beer. And the price is right. If you're having a large party, you don't want to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This will set you right. It's good for everybody. Highly recommend it. Just bought a 12-pack of it the other day when I went.
Okay, so I'll have to check that one out here. Yeah. We got Ryan Guthrie over at Wicked Weed. He recommends Cisco Brewers Whale's Tail Pale Ale, English Pale Ale, 5.6% ABV. And Elysian Jacktail Hazy. I've not seen that one out there. Out there in Washington, 6.1. Let's see. Elysian for the greater Boston area will be sharing Cisco's award-winning Whale's Tail Pale Ale with family and friends. Yeah. So I guess he has one for Seattle and one for New England. Yeah. Kind of playing both sides there. Now, this is the guy I need to hang out with, Mike Siegel, Senior Innovation Manager at Goose Island. Give me the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
9.6 barley one. I don't know how long, Mike, you're hanging in to watch the game, but I'm with you on the Bigfoot. Go big or home.
Mike's going to be hosting a party. Mike's not driving home after a couple Bigfoots.
He's not driving home, right? But, of course, that's the barley wine from Sierra Nevada. Yeah. That's kind of hitting at this point, too. He calls it a much more amped up version of their Celebration IPA. I got different tastes for Celebration I do with Bigfoot, though. But higher ABV, way more hops, true winter warmer. He hasn't had the 2026 release yet, so the Super Bowl will make a perfect occasion to pick up some and share it while watching the game. Yeah, well, people are going to have to stay for a little bit longer after the game, so just be aware. Have enough couch space. Yeah. Then we got here Ash Short, technical brewer at New Belgium, who went with I've not had this in a long time, Mama's Little Yellow Pills from Oscar Blues, and I do remember that being a nice one to actually enjoy as well. again, coming in with the Pilsner. So with the Pilsner, you have something that can really cut through some of the flavors and stuff like that, crisp and clean. Something you might want to have on hand, actually enjoy. Like that, your corner sipping beers, patiently waiting for Bad Bunny's halftime show. It will sneak up on you. So that's going to be kind of funny. I think on Monday it'll be hilarious. We're talking about the whole Bad Bunny versus the Kid Rock on Turning Point. So,
oh God,
yeah,
no one's watching Kid Rock. And I hope Bad Bunny is phenomenal, but there will never be a better halftime show than Prince. I said it. I will die on that hill. Prince. And even though as a Bears fan, that was a lousy Super Bowl, that was the best part. There will never be a better halftime show than Prince.
Well, Prince was great, but Janet Jackson gave us a little bit. Jeremy Marshall, head brewer at Lagunitas. He actually went with Faction Pills.
I've had this. This is a good beer. I've had this one before.
Another Italian Pilsner. So instead of going with the Ferroni, he's like, no, go with this. So, I have not seen this one out there before. So what did you think of this one when you actually
I thought it was good. I had it about maybe 5-6 years ago. It's right after I started the podcast, and a friend of mine out in California sent me like a couple different things, and this was in the mix pack that he sent, and I thought it was solid.
Okay. Yeah, so that's something to try to mix it up. We also had Brian Selders, R&D brewer manager, Dogfish Head. Yeah. You know, I've seen this beer so many times. I still have not tried it yet. Everybody raves about how good it is. But Maine in the Lunch IPA. Now, you've had this one, right?
I've had that one, and you should have that one because they use malt from Blue Ox.
I did not even know that. I didn't realize that. We may have talked about it, unless we talked about it, I forgot. But that's what I need to actually try there. But everybody seems to really love it. It talks about the fruity esters you get here. 6-pack of big old fancy bottles of beer. You ever go to a party or like a get together? Are you one of the people like, you come in and just say like you're that craft beer head? You come in with the craft beers, you bring it, and then you get to the cooler to put it in. Everybody's got like beer that's not to that craft beer level.
Oh.
Are you like a person that's kind of like, I want to keep it close to where I'm at because everybody's gonna drink my beer. I'm gonna be left with some shitty beer. Like, did you ever have that happen? Like,
yeah, and you like want to find a different cooler. Hopefully, it's at a party like here in Chicago in the winter where you could just put it in nature's refrigerator outside.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I have brought myself and a buddy of mine, another craft beer guy, we have brought beer to a wedding because we knew there was not going to be good options. So we stashed a 12-pack for just us because we knew the beer ain't going to be good.
Hey, self-preservation. You can't go wrong with that. We used to do like fantasy football drafts sometimes. Everybody for the most part could be. Sometimes you go to a cooler and it'd be like, no, I don't want to put my beer in this cooler because this is basically not the good cooler. So
you don't want to like, and then people just be grabbing yours because they're like, oh, what's this? This looks new.
Yeah, right.
Get your hand off my cooler.
Jason Perkins with Allagash Allagash White wouldn't be a bad one to have either around.
No.
But he went Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And you can't go wrong with that. That's just perfect. For Super Bowl party, you talk about an OG classic beer that doesn't go out of style. You got it right here with this one. You can easily drink through and match up all along the way. So thank you, Bonnie, for bringing us that piece there. And some good stuff. So any beers you're thinking offhand that you may have wanted to add on that list or?
Definitely I would go with the Kirkland. Because that's good. It's a good price point. Not high in alcohol. So if you're going to be sitting there, you got to figure the game's going to be with the longer halftime and the pregame and the commercials. You're looking at 4 hours. So you don't want something high in alcohol. So something like a sessionable lager, pale, something that you could crush. The Kirkland, great for the price point. And then I would probably try to get a local pale or something along those lines that drinkable. You could have more than one of them and you're not going to, be, calling an Uber to get home. So it's definitely something you need to pace yourself at a big game like that.
Right. Okay. So would the Bigfoot be too big for your book?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It depends. Like, if I was living in Boston or Seattle and my team was playing, I'd probably have something like that, or a barrel age in case they won as a celebration type beer. But yeah, for me, like, I have no dog in this hunt. So, I'm just going to be chilling, just having some sessionable beers tomorrow.
Yeah, I would think, like you hit on it earlier. If you're going to do like the Bigfoot, you definitely want to be the home host, because if it's too much, you're like, I'm going upstairs to retire. You guys have fun. Wife will let you out. Yeah. So make sure if you go, you drink. 1, be safe. Yeah. Don't drink and drive. And 2, know your tolerance as well. Because nobody wants to see that dip come back up. Just
no. And nobody wants to be that guy or that girl.
Right. So just make sure. But but a lot of people will be having their Super Bowl party. And remember, you gotta go work Monday. At least give it a go before you try to call out. That's how we did in Gen X. We still drug our ass in, and then if we couldn't make it, we're like, okay, we're calling it. But don't people else who is at home, don't even give it a try. So
you got to wake up and shower.
Yeah. Gotta wake up and shower for sure.
Yeah, all right. Must have ate some bad wings. I don't know what happened. My stomach's all jacked. Yeah. You must have cooked them wings.
I think they gave me food poisoning. I gotta go home. Yeah,
Bitch, you had 4 Bigfoots? No, you didn't have food poisoning.
Oh yeah, I can definitely catch you there. We had previously, since the last show, right after we did the week before we had the Indiana win the championship. And one thing we talked about was the coach drinking beer. But if you haven't seen the can, this is the national champions Hoosier Game Day Lager, brought out by Upland. That's available out there now, and it's a nice can. It's
that's something you'd want to hold on to, especially if like you're an alum of Indiana. Keep that as a memento.
Yeah. Put that up there on the shelf somewhere. Put in your beer memorabilia area, whatever it may be, and just their first one ever. So yes, one of those things. They put in time capsule, open it up in 25 years or something.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but only 8,000 6-packs are being made. So if you see it out there and you want to get it, go in and get it. It's going across Indiana and the Chicagoland area. So Dave, it could be right there. Where you
I don't see Upland near me, but I don't know. I've got a buddy of mine whose kid went to IU, so I'll have to see if maybe he could snag one because his kid still lives in Indy. So I'll have to see if maybe he can get his hands on one of them.
I feel like you would, I don't know if it has to be just through Upland, but I feel like if not, like your Bennies might actually get that.
I've never seen Upland at my Bennies. Oh, I mean, to be honest, I haven't looked for them specifically, but I always take my time. It's not like you're just running in for a few seconds. You're going, it's like Jungle Gyms with you. If you're going in, you clear the calendar for, at least an hour because you got to peruse the aisles. And I have not seen Upland at my Bennies. I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah, there was something with the computer or whatever. But I go to Jungle Gyms. They got the hot sauce. You're not even out of that in an hour. I mean, hot sauce. They have hot sauce from all around the world. So it gets a little crazy in there. But how's your beer going over there?
Oh, it's good. I'm digging it. Yeah, I'm digging this one a lot.
Okay, nice. So this one's going down very smooth. 9.5 alcohol, well hidden as usual. So it can definitely be a little dangerous, so to speak, if we put in that danger area. Let's see here. So they had the one here that the Great Lakes unveils apple pie. Elliott Ness Lager. So this is kind of interesting. I don't know why they went apple pie on it. I mean, nothing wrong with apple pie, but I'm just I feel like Elliott Ness, like the character of Elliott Ness, you kind of try to come up with something, something a little more daring or something like that and everything. But I'll give it a shot. It's Great Lakes.
Oh, yeah, so. Great Lakes. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try it, but I think like apple now is like everywhere. I mean, Busch Light with their apple. I mean, that's a popular beer. I talked about on my show that'll come out probably tomorrow night. Keystone Light is coming out with an apple. So I don't know if that's going to be the next like hot trend doing apple, but if Great Lakes is putting it out, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. Special variant brewed with that natural apple flavors.
Yeah.
To evoke warm dessert inspired character. 6.1 ABV, 27 IBU. So nice malt forwardness as usual. Uncover a slice of classic baked apple pie flavor in the special edition of our classically smooth amber lager.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we'll see. We'll see what that has to do with Great Lakes releasing that one out there.
Yeah.
Elliot Ness is a fan favorite anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got to see people picking that up off the shelves for sure, and giving that one a try. And
here comes a good one.
We about to drop it on y'all right now.
Yeah, well,
all right. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead.
Does the bear shit in the woods? Well, the bear, if he shits in the woods, he might be shitting in your beer.
Well, not in the woods, but definitely near the path, so you can scoop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Breakside Brewing teamed up with Columbia Sportswear to unveil the beer. It says made from beer poop rather than say with beer poop. That's not going to make it that much better. But they basically took bear droppings and fermented with it for the beer. They brewed it kind of in and out, so it'll be safe. I actually have seen a video of a couple people trying the beer. And they actually rated it as being pretty good. I don't know if I can go in with that psyche of knowing there's bear poop in it, even if it is clean. I mean, there's places around the world where they recycle wastewater, right? So,
yeah.
And futuristic Earth, we may have something where they have to recycle wastewater to make beer.
I'll be long dead. I will be long dead and buried when that happens. So I'm not worried. I'm old. I drink. I'm not living that long.
Yeah, we won't be on Earth when that happens, I'm sure. But I mean, there are some breweries that have started putting it out there, testing it and doing stuff with wastewater. So I'm not looking to get with any of those. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens and that becomes the case, which I don't see happening while we're alive. Yeah, it's gonna be a pass. But
yeah,
is this again one of those things where it's like, okay, craft beer, you got to stop. You're going too far again. Like, pull it back in. Where it's like, yeah.
How much? This is probably the most publicity this Breakside Brewery has ever had. This is like a worldwide story. So. Yeah. For a one-off, teaming up with Columbia Sportswear, they're huge. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. I don't want to say the beer tastes like shit, but even if the beer does, I mean, that's a lot of publicity for the brewery. So God bless them for getting their name out. Will I try this beer? No.
Nature calls.
No.
Somebody call it dingleberry or some sort of nature call.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. But like it says on here, they weren't the first one to actually do it. Stone Brewing made a pale ale. They did the recycled sewage water with the brewery in Finland, created a beer using goose droppings to achieve the perfect stout flavor. Goose droppings are not part of the recipe that I know for a perfect stout flavor.
Yeah.
But
the perfect stout flavor is objective. Subjective. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then I mentioned what Rogue Ales did the beard beer, if you remember that from back in the day, using the yeast from the brewmaster John Mayer's beard. And then it was overseas. Was it Australia?
Oh, I know where you're going.
That did the laundry,
I know where you're going.
The vaginal yeast in their beer. Yeah, that it was Australia or somewhere crazy. It was like, like just Yeah, no, I think it was from some adult porn star or something. That's another one I'm gonna take a pass on. No, it's not gonna happen. I'll go to vodka. I'll go to bourbon. Let's just be glad that the Flying Dog on their pearl necklace, they don't actually make it like a pearl necklace. They just use the name.
Yeah.
Yes, oysters. Yeah, craft brewers can definitely push the envelope, as we know.
Yeah.
Cheers, Vanessa. Happy Saturday
Vanessa.
night to you, my friend. Great to see you. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So again, does a bear shit in the woods? No, but a bear will shit in the fermenter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Have fun cleaning that fermenter out.
Oh man, yeah. The things you see when you're covering beer, things you never expected for sure. Big thing happening out of Indiana, which happens every year, and I still need to get to one of these. Is going to be Dark Lord Days, right? So you were actually able to see what some of the Dark Lord variants were going to be for this year.
Some of these look really good.
Yeah. And now, from what I know of Dark Lord Day, obviously it's some great beers from Dark Lord and the various, but it's also kind of a shit show of people just like hammering out of their mind because of the strong ABV. But we've got some pretty good things here. See if I can blow this up a little bit more. So we got the Chemtrail Mix. Dark Lord aged in rye whiskey barrels with cinnamon and pink peppercorns.
Sounds good.
That's it. The Marshmallow Hanji, Dark Lord aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla beans. Erogeous Philbin.
Egregious Philbin.
Egregious. Dark Lord aged in bourbon barrels and finished in FFF Warpsite whiskey barrels. I haven't heard of them before.
No.
Cherries and vanilla. The Brandy Vanilla, Dark Lord's aged in bourbon barrels and finished in brandy. You know I love some brandy, so I'll be all over that one. Vanilla beans. Banana Bubble Bath, Dark Lord's aged in rum and bourbon barrels with banana, vanilla, and cocoa nibs. That another one that sounds pretty good. And then the Magic User, Dark Lord aged in rye and bourbon barrels with coconut and cinnamon. Yeah, I mean,
sign me up for all of those.
Yeah, not one on the list I don't like. And tickets went on sale today. So if you're interested in this,
I'm sure it's sold out.
It may have. I mean,
they sell out quick.
3floyds.com, but yeah, it's looking good. I saw they also came out. I didn't pull it up here, but they also announced the musical acts and stuff for it too on May 16th. So that's a big thing there in Indiana. It's huge for people that love going to that.
No, you could still get them. I just clicked on the link, but you got to get the Dark Lord Day, the big ticket. It's $230.
Oh, is that what it is? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but no, you could still get a ticket for that. So if you're interested, but yeah, I'm not dropping $230 on to drive to Indiana to drink.
Is the big ticket the VIP version? Is it?
They had two. They had a general admission and the Dark Lord Day, which I'm assuming gets you the variants. But yeah, that's a lot of coin.
Yeah, I wonder if the general was sold out. Yeah, or as well. And you have to head that way. I mean, either way, it's an event. It's one of those events to be a part of. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. And then up around your way. If I can
I'll be heading out to this one.
If I can get it to pop up here. There we go. We're going to have, well, I thought it was popping up.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about it here. I've got it up on my screen here. You got it?
Yeah, I got it here.
All right. Well, if you're in Chicago and near the Malt Row part on Ravenswood, Dovetail Brewing, in association with Beard and Belly, which is a restaurant here, they're having Thank You for Smoking. This is a celebration of smoked beers. So, I mean, this sounds phenomenal. It's all Rauch beers. So if you're a fan of smoked beers, but Beard and Belly's going to be doing some smoked brats in the beginning. They have guest breweries like Revolution's doing a smoked beer. They're having, let me pull up all the breweries here. Art History, Was, Midwest Coast, Phase 3, Pipeworks, Revolution, Roaring Table, and a brewery I've not heard of, Schlenkerla, So they're each
Whoa,
doing.
whoa. You have not heard of St. Curla?
I have not heard. Shinkarla and Pinta.
Shinkarla is like the OG godfather of smoked beer out of Bamberg, Germany.
I'm looking at Chicago breweries. No, I have not heard that brewery's name, so that's on me. But all of these breweries are coming up with a special variant of a smoked beer. So if you're a fan of Rauch beers, you got to head over to Dovetail in 2 weeks, or 2 weeks in 1 day. So it's the 22nd. So it'll be on a Sunday in the afternoon. I'm going to be there. And I wish, like, that logo they would put on a shirt, because I would wear that shirt.
Maybe you can get them to do it.
I saw one thing. It said they don't have shirts for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They have matchbooks, but no shirts. Like that, I would wear a shirt. Thank you for smoking.
What if you can copy the logo down yourself and get one made?
Well, Rod, that's illegal. Rod, I don't want to copyright infringe on a brewery. That's like stealing a beer glass. We can't do that. We're upstanding citizens.
I didn't see it as a brewery. I just saw it as about the event. I thought it was just a promo for it. Yeah. And here's all the other stuff through here as well. It's funny because they timed it well for the Olympics with the torch. So yeah. First dibs on guest smokies. And St. Curla is the one all these breweries will be looking up to.
All right.
Anytime I see X St. Curla at any of the stores, because that's how it's like on their label, it's automatically picking up everything they do. I mean, they've been doing it since, can't remember offhand, like 1600s, I believe. But they are like the originator of basically doing this. So they are huge. And that'd be the first place I'd be heading to. Obviously, everybody's going to be doing good stuff, but that's like you bow down to them when you see them.
Yeah, well, they have, like, you could still get tickets. They're available. It's like $40 for the early bird session from like 10 a.m. to noon. And like, you'll get like a different, like a sausage plate, or you could pick a potato pancake plate, which either one sound really good to me. Like, I could kill a potato pancake, but that sounds really good. Like, I definitely got to be heading out for that.
Yeah, that's going to be one that'd be definitely worth going to. It's cool that they actually have a smoked beer festival taking place. I would love to see more of those. It's a good thing Vanessa showed up, because you got news that she would definitely enjoy with the Dragon's Milk here. So, well, we'll all enjoy this. Who of us do not like a good Dragon's Milk? So, look like they're adding Dragon's Keep official reserve. And then, were you able to find out anything on here you wanted to mention, or
no? I just saw it was like a port barrel, like a Cerise liquor barrel and port barrel that they're doing with that.
Yeah, it's a stout. Finished in Cerise. I'm trying to get the right size of the screen here. Liquor barrels and port barrels with cocoa nibs. There you go. Still at the 11% ABV on this one here as well. But with me, I'm like, anything Dragon's Milk is like I'm already on board with for the most part.
But, it's like, we've talked about this before. Like, not all of the variants I'm able to get here in Chicago, and I'm closer to them probably. I could get the regular, like the original, but I never see the variants here.
Right. Which is weird in itself. I mean, distribution kind of does that, I guess. But you would think being right next to them, like, hey, guys, help a brother out. Can I get some over here? What's happening? But they're actually putting it in 16-ounce cans, too. So it'll be 4 packs of 16, I guess. Usually it's a 4-pack of the 12. So that's kind of interesting, 12 bottles. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, that'll be something to look forward to. But like I said, that one I had with the coconut rum was probably the favorite thus far. But I'll keep trying. I'll keep going as long as they keep making them. So, so it's good old Dragon's Milk. And then let's see here. Got Boulevard Brewing.
Oh, yeah. Out of Missouri?
Yeah, out of Missouri. So they actually had the collab that you saw.
I mean, this looks pretty intriguing to me. This is something that I would definitely try. Irish cream barrel-aged stout. Like, sign me up for that. It's like in collaboration with 5 Farms. It's in Ireland. So, I mean, it sounds good. Now, it's got lactose, so I'm going to have to take a pill. But it's a nitro can, barrel-aged stout with Irish cream. I mean, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, 11% ABV. Also packages 16-ounce cans. Yeah. Boulevard always does some decent stuff. And in fact, I'm going to do their Neapolitan beers that I have here.
Oh, okay.
I have to have those upcoming. They did a vanilla, chocolate, and a strawberry. Different ones barreled, but we got like 2 of each in a 6-pack. So need to get into those. Just so many beers and so little time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely give this one a try here with the cow tip. Nice label. Good catches your eye.
Yeah.
Good attention to it. Speaking of labels, pretty soon in a few months we'll be doing the Cambies again here. So that's always fun. All right, so that's the Boulevard there. But are you opening another beer yet? Do you want to do the
you want to do ours? You want to do the one? Ours.
Yeah.
All right. Give us 2 seconds, folks.
Grab this real quick. So we're going to actually crack open a beer that was actually sent to us from Firestone Walker to kind of just share. I actually have a review upcoming on it. It hasn't been released yet, but since we were both doing the show tonight, we thought we'd kind of crack it in and share it with you guys out there as well. So Dave went to go grab his, and then when he gets back, we'll go ahead and crack it open here. And he's back. He's quick. Yeah. He's like the Flash over there. Yeah. So what we're going to look at is the Firestone DBA. Firestone Walker is now in their 30th anniversary year. So they got a big 30-year event coming up, and they actually reached out to both of us about checking out their beers and some stuff. We've been doing it with them for the last few months or so to speak, but they sent us complimentary 6-packs of the DBA, which is the beer that got Firestone Walker started. So we figured we crack them open here and kind of talk about it a little bit and share it with you guys. And it's the first time, Dave, I think you're having it, you said, right? So
no, I had it on the audio show.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't done video on it yet.
Yeah. Got a pretty strong pour over there.
Yeah, I got a lot of foam on mine. I got to let the foam die down a little bit.
You did a hard pour?
Yeah. Man, that smells good, though.
It smells really good. So here's what it looks like in the glass, folks. So there you go.
Yeah, I got a little too much foam on mine.
Yeah.
Speaking of your glass, we got to talk to our buddy Shane up in Canada.
Yeah.
Shane had a picture of a beer in your glass, and I saw some bubbles on that glass. I was like, oh, Shane. We got to talk to you, son.
The Shane have a little Dirty Glass Mafia showing up on that one.
Yeah. I'm looking at that. I couldn't like the picture. I normally don't like his stuff, but I'm just thinking, Shane, don't. You're disparaging Rod J's name with the bubbles on that glass, my brother.
Oh, that's funny. We went to dinner earlier this week to a restaurant, and they got the glass. They served me. I had a Stone IPA off draft, and it actually had some bubbles on it. It's kind of like, when I said it, I mean, it wasn't like it was a decent restaurant, so it wasn't like it was dirty. It was just not beer glass clean. And I'm like, I was like, what? And I'm like, well, it's not supposed to have these bubbles sticking on the side or so. I do the drop. You do the drop on the table and it releases the bubbles, all that kind of stuff. But it's just like, and she's like, are you gonna go say something to them? I'm like, I'm trying not to, but my inner self is kind of like, hey, we serve these, but I let it go. Yeah. I'm finally starting to mature and get a little bit older in that regard. So
you took a little off the tip, though. That's it. Sorry, son. You gotta.
Well, I didn't hit him as much. I kind of took it off the Yelp score when I did the Yelp because I'm one of the Yelp at least. Couldn't give him a perfect 5 on the restaurant because of it. But yeah. But the beer itself is a nice malt forward type beer.
Oh yeah.
Caramel, toffee. It's got a nice.
I love that color
to it. Yeah, the color is great. It's like now it's like more of a brownish.
Yeah, kind of like a Vienna lager type color. I mean, beautiful color.
You mentioned the Vienna lager. When you take that swig and that caramel toffee base hits, it feels like that Vienna lager feel to it. I mean, it's really a nice, real well done beer.
I mean, I definitely get like the oak out of that. Mm-hmm. I get the bitterness. I mean, that's just like a well crafted beer from start to finish. I mean, that's outstanding.
The funny thing about this beer, and I mentioned this in a video that'll be uploaded that people will see, is barrel aged, right? You get the oak and stuff, but we're so used to now when we see barrel, it's like 8, 9, 10, 11. We get the higher ABV. This is just a 5% ABV beer. They double it. It's just like it was just getting the flavor and stuff through. So it doesn't have to be a high impact ABV beer for you able to enjoy it and get that oakiness to it, right? So they did it at a lower level, keep it more sessionable.
And like with this, like when we talk about barrel aged beers, most people think of bourbon barrels or, other things. Like there's no liquor in the barrel. This is just in the oak. So you're getting the oak notes. You're not getting anything else from a different liquor. This is just the wood. And I mean, the taste is great. I mean, there's so many different woods out there, and it's amazing just the difference in what kind of wood they use in the barrel will give it that different flavor. Like there's like this Brazilian wood that gives it like notes of cherry. It's just wild, but this is just like a straight oak and it tastes great.
It tastes fabulous. For like I said, this is one, and I'm not sure I know everybody doesn't get Firestone at this point. Yeah. I know some people say, they miss Firestone or whatever, but we talked about the Super Bowl beers earlier. This is what I can sit there and watch Super Bowl with if I was going to watch it. At the 5% ABV, you're not getting hammered by it. And you can have this with wings, you can have with a burger, you can have with the pizza, you can have with the nachos. I mean, it's so variant on what you can actually pair this beer with that it makes a nice, enjoyable experience across the board. But for me, I just love that nice feel of that toffee caramel base and then that maltiness where you're getting hit. And it's like, it's a smoothness to it. It's not really a bitterness in play. It's just a nice, smooth overall play that kind of comes through. And the toffee with it is like that English toffee type feel. So it just makes it that much better.
No, this is definitely, 30 years of this beer. You don't have to change a thing. It's And didn't they say in like one of the releases, and I don't have it in front of me, like this is like the only beer that's still like continuously aged in like some form of, outside of Beechwood aged, but like the only like craft beer that is still aged in some form of wood, like outside of your barrel aged stouts that are come out like, once a year.
Right. I think, I know they're still doing the original formula and everything with it, so probably is, because most of the time, like I said, with barrel aged, we're used to the higher ones now because of the bourbon barreling and whiskey barreling or tequila barreling or gin barreling. But it's like just to have it in the oak without the alcohol effect, they probably are the oldest one, outside of the Beechwood, whatever. But even in the Beechwood, Budweiser isn't barreling it; they're putting the Beechwood into the fire to evoke that flavor.
Chips,
right? It's to evoke that feel. So, no, this is one. If you get a chance, I would say for people out there, you see it, I would definitely say to grab it and sit back and enjoy. So, easy to see this. Go ahead.
Did you ever have and I saw it about 10 years ago, and I haven't seen it in a long time. Do you remember when they put out Arrogant Bastard and it was called Oaked? Hey, Average Joe.
Cheers, Joe. What's going on, brother? Yeah, I do remember I remember that as well.
That was solid. That was a solid beer. It added a nice touch to the Arrogant Bastard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they had the double Arrogant Bastard as well. And then I think there was another one I had too that was a hybrid between Bastard variants. I can't remember the name of it, but they did another one that was like a twisted version of it. Yeah. So, they always, that was always a fun beer to actually sit there and enjoy with Stone. Actually,
Mhm.
I never understood why they had to kind of make it under a different type of line, like instead of just putting Stone on. It was I never got the whole thing behind that, but it works still.
Yeah.
And then the news here today, this is just kind of a weird day for me in that this is like the first time probably in I don't even know how many years outside the years when I was in Baltimore that I did not go to the Cincy Beer Fest, which is happening right now for the night session, but today is the Cincy Winter Beer Fest.
Okay.
And it was kind of interesting. Last time I went was last year. Todd and Shannon came up. We did it at the Xavier University. They had it at the basketball coliseum there because the renovations were taking place at Duke Energy Center. But it's always kind of been a fun time. It was just, it's getting to a point where like I start to wonder as we're seeing some of the beer stuff drop, and it was kind of like the passion wasn't there to go to the fest as much as it used to be. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that hits other people. If there's like a fest fatigue possibly in the air for some folks out there, where it's just kind of like, I'll go to this one, maybe this one, where before you used to go to all of them, right? So I was kind of wondering if that started to take place.
And they're not cheap. So, I mean, you're looking, if you're taking two people, you're spending 100 plus in addition to food and, transportation. So I definitely see that. I don't go to as many as I used to. It's like, you can't swing it.
Yeah. Well, the other part is, are we just because we're getting old too?
Yeah, well, that's true. I try to make it sound better, but
the tickets are here like 70 plus 7. Now, when you did it, if you did an early bird, I think it was at one point maybe 50 or 40 or something. But yeah, if you did it by today,
they're going to charge you $37.50 to be a designated driver.
Yeah.
I'll just spend that on an Uber.
It makes sense.
Do they feed you for $30?
You get a $5 food coupon, but where are you going to get anything for $5 that's worth anything nowadays?
Come on,
because they have a bunch of food trucks that do some really great food. But come on, $5 is getting maybe French fries. That's about it.
Yeah. No, come on now.
But yeah, well, I've seen some people get it as a DD.
Yeah.
And after a point, they're taking sips from their person that's actually paid to get in too. So I can see why they might want to put a price on it. But it's $60. So it's 3 hours of time. Before it used to be 4 hours, right?
Okay.
So the price is up and you're getting less time.
And the VIP, it's early admission. Yeah, that gives you what, the 4?
That gives you the 4, but it used to give you 5.
All right.
And that price is up, but less time. And so, and you never really use all the sample tickets because the winter one is all like high ABV stuff. People just like blown out by like beer number 10. But it was interesting because then I said, well, let me see what I missed this year from the beer drink list. And I was kind of like almost glad I didn't go because this is nothing like it used to be. Like we used to have probably about 400 to 500 beers at this one. Mm-hmm. And that's not even, this is probably half of that for this year. And you can't even blow this up to really see. Like you got to try to squint at it or whatever and hit the button to try to.
And you already mentioned we're old. So
we're already old. So it's kind of like you get there, it's all blurry and stuff, but it's kind of like.
You put on my bifocals here for a second. Shit. Oh, dude, I still can't even see that.
Exactly. And so it's like less than it used to be as far as the amount of breweries there and what they were bringing. And then these aren't all beers, right? Some of these are THC drinks. Some of these are seltzers. This used to be, more than this, used to be just beer itself. So as we're at a time where we're seeing a lot of the contracting taking place in the industry for brewing, and breweries are having to shut down or reinvent themselves, the beer fests are kind of feeling that, I think, also. So it's kind of a weird type situation. So it's kind of like, we're at that kind of almost like a crossroads, so to speak, I guess, in my mind is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And, it's not that far after, the Cincinnati Oktoberfest that you mentioned, a couple months back. So, it's not like that was only like 4 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, so, that was in September. And the thing with the Cincinnati, the Oktoberfest is though, you're free to get in. You just pay what you want to drink, which is also a better way to go, I think, too.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe having like big events that close to each other, it's like, do I really need to go to another one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See the first weekend, this is like maybe first or second weekend of March. Let me see here. March 7th, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, we have Bachfest.
So that's 4 weeks away.
Yeah. And so with Bachfest, it's one of those ones you go there for free as well, but you can just drink as you go. So I'm planning to go to that. Todd and Shannon are thinking about coming up for that. And that'll be a good time to just go and experience that type of feel. So yeah, I think there might be, I just feel there might be a little bit of fest fatigue in the air as well.
Yeah.
We see Joe also sent me a 6-pack of DBA, but man, I do miss the double. See, I never had the double DBA.
Look at you, Joe. Shit.
Yeah. One of my favorite beers. Seems has been retired, at least for now. Yeah, Joe gets reached out for Firestone as well. Oh. And actually, he got a pretty sweet Firestone Stein that they sent to him as well, which was pretty awesome. So, yeah.
Oh. Fucking Joe.
Definitely a fest fatigue for me, especially if it's a fest where shelfie beers are the norm. So if I can easily grab them off the shelves and there aren't too many releases, it's kind of a way. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing on that list there. A lot of them are being distributed in stores or you can get them pretty easily. So there's nothing special about it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something like, like GABF. That's well above and beyond. They always have different variants. And, this year it's going to be outside. You get events like that or FOBAB where you're never going to be able to sample all of these beers in one place. So these are, I think, the outliers that is worth the money. Average local fest, $50 to $75, where, I could drive 2 blocks away to your brewery and get the same thing on tap.
Right. And see, Cincy Beer Fest used to be that way where you knew you couldn't sample it all. So you had to basically get the map ahead of time and highlight the ones you wanted to try to get to first before you were too blitzed. So, yeah. Plus all festivals seem like 75 after fees, and a lot of them are just 3 to 4 hours, just not value-wise. Being old doesn't help for sure, all right? As we're getting older, and some of these people that are younger, they're not drinking as much, so they're like, I'd rather go watch the game at a bar or something like that. I'll have a couple there rather than go to a beer fest or something.
Yeah.
So, almost 40 for designated drivers absurd, right?
Yeah.
That's because in Cincinnati, so like I said, some of the designated drivers will be little sippers, and it's probably just some trying to make sure, trying to lock people out. I don't know, but yeah, that's crazy. Get the Uber, like Dave said.
Yeah.
FOBAB is a bucket list for me, along with GBF. Also, the Firestone Walker Invitation. Yes, same thing. Sounds insane. Not many compete with those quality of those. Yeah, Firestone Walker Invitational.
That's and that's like my birthday weekend too. I'm like, shit. Yeah. I'm like, that's a lineup right there.
Yeah. I feel like that Dark Lord days, there's some that are out there. I mean, even like the Maze Fest at 450 are kind of like those ones that make it, okay, that's on the list to try to get to. But so many other ones are starting to come down a little bit more. Plus, some of the breweries that have kind of pulling stuff back, they're not really making those maybe specialty type things anymore because they can't afford to take a hit if they don't sell with the things taking place in the beer market. So it's interesting to actually see that out there. But yeah, when I saw that today, I was like, yeah, let me share that, get some thoughts on it. Yeah. And then talking about some of the different breweries out there, and this is one of our buddies, Ginger Yeti. He's up in the Cleveland area that does beer reviews. He's really seeing a lot of this stuff actually happen. But they're talking about how more of the local breweries are shutting down up there, how things are looking in Cleveland. They talk about just this week, they have Working Class Brewing, the Rabbit Hole, and Magic City. All three have announced closures. They're seeing some other things that are kind of out there on the horizon as well. So it's an interesting time. Great Lakes is in Cleveland. Great Lakes is still doing okay, but it was a nice part of the Ohio area to have the breweries. It was like Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, kind of like the hops. They're all C's. But anyway, it was kind of like now you're seeing one of those C's kind of feeling the effects of the market hitting them. So it's one of those things, we talk about it from time to time. If breweries are just saying, I'm going to make beer because I like making beer, or I think my beer is good beer, like you better have a lot more to go along with it because people just aren't coming out unless they have a reason to want to drink your beer, or you got to make it a destination. You got to give them what we call FOMO in the work that I do, which is that fear of missing out. You got to make them feel like they're missing something by not going to your brewery.
And it's weird. Like, a couple of weeks ago, I had on the economist from the Brewers Association on, and he was talking like you're going to see a lot of breweries that when the big boom hit 10 years ago, they signed 10-year leases. Well, these 10 years are coming up. We just had a brewery here in Illinois announce they were closing due to their rent going up after the 10-year lease expired. So I think that's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on. Another thing, I talked to a brewery yesterday that I'll have out in a couple weeks out of Colorado, and they were talking like the last couple of years, and I don't have the quote in front of me. He's like, we were focusing more on not beer, whether it was seltzers and all this. And he's like, we're just getting back to beer. And that's what we know. That's going to be the main focus. And we're going to put out the best beer possible. And they have a couple locations that are doing well. So somewhere in the middle is, what we could do. I mean, yes, I totally agree. And we've talked about it ad nauseum where breweries need to do more, whether it's THC, NA options, something. But I mean, there's a lot to be said too for like this guy. Hey, we're just going to make beer and that's it. And we're going to make the best beer we can.
Yeah. And it's like, I saw one brewery, they're going to close their doors and they're going to go a whole totally different direction. And they're basically taking their brewery and making it into like this community type thing for business leaders to get together or some type of planning type thing. But they're selling all their brewing equipment and they pretty much just said, okay, we're done. We did it. We had a good time we were doing. We're going to miss it. It's a sad type thing, but we just can't see ourselves doing this for another 10 years or whatever number of years it was. And they had to make the adjustment. Joe mentioned you need to make incredible beer or have incredible food. In a perfect world, you do both. So much competition, you have to stand out from the pack. Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's some breweries that do some great menus I've seen and have some good beer, great beers, but they still struggle out there because it's kind of like they're not getting in front of the people they need to get in front of that might be able to kind of experience this, so to speak. So it's like, what are you doing to actually draw the people in you need to draw in? There's, just thinking like the place right the corner for me, the Nine Giant, they actually have good beer and food. And I was kind of like, for me, it was just, I hate to say like it was too many kids, but they're definitely the Nine Giants. They had a lot of kids that would come in for the restaurant part. Once the restaurant, people want to bring their kids in, also want to have a drink. I get that. But when I found out they had the Nine Giant Fermatorium, which was on the other side of the building, and it was their special batch brewing and more their larger ABV type stuff. And it was also more like no food was being served. It was just drinking. It was less kids, so you didn't have that effect. It was that much better of an experience. Okay. And that was a cool type thing. So it's kind of like getting the stuff out there to say, hey, maybe if you don't like this here, we also have this here. You got to be able to relate to the people so they know what's actually going on. Because I didn't even know it was there until I connected with Cincy Brew Dads and they told me about it. And then I got there and it's like, oh, okay, this could be my down the street spot now.
Yeah, that's like the best of both worlds. Like, you have, I don't have kids at home, but if you have kids at home and you want to go out and have a meal bring your kids, you could do that. But if you want to just have some adult time, you could go to the back. That's like, sign me up for that.
Yeah. So it's around the corner, and a couple people had a couple kids in there, but they were kind of like, like you don't serve any food. You have to bring your own food or order from a restaurant and walk it around to bring the food into there. So it's a little bit more of a thing where most people wouldn't probably do that, but and it was just like a lot more better, a lot more relaxed, and a lot more enjoyable. So it's kind of finding those niches, but breweries got to tell those stories to get those people to want to come in. And they do like a catering thing. So they had like a wedding party there in the little catering room and stuff. But it's kind of like you tell those stories out there so that people know, oh, okay, this is what you're bringing to the community. And I feel like some breweries just haven't been able to do that. And also, if you have a bad business plan, none of that matters. So may expand too quickly and end up regretting in due time. Well, yeah, some definitely have done that as well.
But that was what the market dictated 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, if you wanted to open a brewery, the thought was you need to go big initially because you're going to expand to a regional brewery. And in 2026, you just have to be the best brewery in your neighborhood. You can't think about expanding because nobody's buying anything that's not local unless you're Sierra Nevada or Voodoo Flippin' Ranger or whatever. It's mostly, local beers. So, definitely the market has changed and the business plan has changed over the last 10 years.
Oh, it definitely has. And like for Joe came down when we got a group together at one of the places that was a cool place to actually go to. It was at Party Source. It was called Braxton Labs. Well, Braxton Labs was part of Braxton Brewing. Braxton Brewing they were the ones that created Garage Beer before they sold it off, but they have like a location in Covington, Kentucky, and then they have a couple other spots now. But Braxton Labs and Party Source was their small batch experimental brew. We had a blast. We were down there for great beers, great time. And they're not even open there now. They had to shut down. They shut down around the time of COVID and never brought it back because it was just that thing. They couldn't get people to flow in there after that point. And it was like, okay, you got to know when to cut your losses and stuff. But it was kind of like, I don't think people always fully knew the story. Like, this is like the part you want to go to see the things you can't see anywhere else. Like, they didn't tell that. It's kind of like if you go to an amusement park, it's like, oh, you got to go ride this ride because you'll see nothing else like that anywhere else, right? And that's the stories like and feelings that breweries have to go for nowadays. Just give me all the Dark Charges, sons. Yeah, because Dark Charge is their Imperial Stout. They have a Dark Charge day, just like a Dark Lord day. And the Dark Charges are the bomb. So they're phenomenal. So another piece I saw, speaking of the big beers, but have we now seen a time where table beers are back, right? So is 3.4 the new normal for beer? About the drink business. We've seen this overseas now with the Guinness 60-40, where they do like 60% of the Guinness draft and like 40% of the Guinness NA, I believe. It's either 60-40 one way or the other, but they end up doing a mix to dilute it, basically. Essentially, they're bringing back the table beer, which is like around a 2.5 to 3.5 type level, where you could, you come home from work, you have it with lunch or whatever. It's like you're drinking it, but you're not really, looking to get sauced or anything like that. You just want to have a nice little taste of beer. We're starting to see more and more come out. Here's Foster's coming out with something along those lines as well. There's people jumping on board with this lower ABV, which I'm not against. I mean, it's, sometimes you want that lighter type feel. You want to, if you're out golfing, drinking like a 3.4 ABV is not a bad idea rather than trying to down some IPAs you snuck into the golf course, right? So there is that opportunity for that, especially with some of the younger, not as much drinkers. They might be more inclined to kind of do that. And that's another area that breweries have to consider. Do we need to go into lower ABV production? So it's kind of interesting.
Something I'll believe when I see. Mm-hmm. This is a different country, this article. Like, I just don't see it happening here. I mean, you read about it, it's going to be the next big thing, but you still look at, you go to your grocery store, you go to your convenience store, and it's loaded with these, hugs from Goose Island, your hazy little things from Sierra, the Voodoo Rangers. It's still people buying these stovepipe cans of these behemoth 10% things. So I just can't see. I think there's a niche for it, but is it going to take over? No.
Yeah.
It's
still got that out there. I will say I've seen slightly less of in some spots of the stovepipes and some of the stuff now. Although I just did a review that'll be upcoming on the Revolution
X-Hero
Juicy Rush IPA. So that's 10% on that one. But you see some of the there's not as much shelf space that had been in the last few years. So it started getting bigger because the two areas of craft beer over the last couple of years growing the fastest were the NAs and the 19.2 stovepipes. That's when we were seeing a lot of the growth taking place. That's why a lot of breweries are making that size now. But I'm starting to see that kind of shrink back a little bit on what's actually being offered there. Like when I go to my Kroger here, there will be like maybe 20 different things. And I see it down more around 8 to 10 now. So it's kind of a thing where maybe there are some things shown where people are pulling back some, but you're seeing more of the lagers getting more space. You're seeing your garage beers, which garage beers, I think around 5, but you're seeing more of those lighter type lagers and stuff starting to come out. You're seeing more craft breweries making light beers, light lagers. Yeah. So maybe there is some targeting taking place. Joe says, I'm cool with 3.4 if it's an English mild or dark mild. Keep the Fosters away from me. Definitely not Australian for beer. Sammy knows about it. Victoria bitter, baby. Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the biggest flies that probably ever sold.
Yeah. I got a friend of mine who was in Australia last week, and he, we're in a group text, so we chat every day. He's like, I'm in Australia. He's like, if you ask for a Foster's, they throw your ass out of the bar. He's like, you don't find it here. It's all extra pale ales. And he's like, these are great. He was like, but you couldn't find a Foster's in Australia if your life depended on
it. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I once had one of the guys I work with, which is bad what he actually did. He didn't know it was bad. He was an American abroad. Yeah. He went to Ireland on vacation, and they were out there. Well, over here, we used to ask, doing the Irish car bombs.
Yeah.
And he found out pretty quick you don't ask for that in Ireland. So
you guys set him up.
He said he went into one of the bars and he asked for the Irish car bomb, and they gave him that look, and it's just and I'm like, dude, why would you do that? He's like, what do you like? He's just kind of a naive type person. I'm like, how about the IRA? You don't want to ask for that. Yeah.
You set this poor son up.
I would love to see the expression of the other people when he did that, though. And I'd be like, I'm not with that guy. I'm not with I don't even know who that is. I'd deport him if I were you.
Yeah. So, hey, man, you ever watch Patriot Games, son? Did you ever see that movie?
Who was the one with Tommy Lee Jones when he was the bomber with him and back in the day? It was him, and I think it was Jeffrey Daniels was the FBI cop maybe chasing him. That was a good one back in the day, though. But he was like IRA. But we know the history of stuff.
Yeah.
So they made the announcement. I don't know if you saw this or not, but they do have the dates now for the next class for the American Craft Beer Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And they'll be having the watch parties going on. So it'll be February 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it through Craft Beer Professionals as well. And they're online. If you haven't checked out the Craft Beer Professionals channel, they do have a YouTube channel. And check out Andrew and his crew over there. They put some good stuff out there to give you insights around craft beer. Let's see here. They're going to be getting people together at Dogfish Head, Round Trip, Breakside. I wonder if they ask them about the bear beer there. And then Hailstorm.
Hailstorm, yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of the 4 they got set up to have some stuff there. We both know Marty, and Marty will be at the one, I think, at Hailstorm. And this is the list of nominees that are actually in. I know we talked about this, I think, before for this next class. Waiting to see who actually gets in, because even as an elector, I don't know. They don't tell us until we actually have to see it. We just put our votes in. So great class again. And some of these are people from before as well. Just about everybody was from before. I'm trying to think if anybody was added there. Maybe Ray Daniels, I think, was added. He wasn't on the first ballot, I don't think. So, yeah. So...
Yeah, Marty did. I just got an email from Marty asking me, inviting me to go. And it's the only thing, the Tinley Park one, which is, the Chicago area one, it's a good hour and a half drive each way. So I'm not sure. I don't think so. I mean, definitely got to check and see what we're doing that day, but I know it is a little far, but if I don't go, I'll be tuning in.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask you here too. Anybody of those names that actually stand out for you? Just curious for your thoughts there.
I mean, they're all worthy.
Right.
And, I've had Marty on the show. I talked to him a couple times, and, the one person that I thought should have got in last year and this year was Pierre Celis from, Celis White. I mean, the man pretty much invented the Belgian wit style from Hoegaarden. He came over here in the States. He brought yeast in his sock. He had dry yeast in his sock to get through customs when he came to America. And, we could talk shit about Blue Moon all we want, but you wouldn't be drinking a Blue Moon if it wasn't for Pierre Celis. And Allagash White, another one. I think he definitely needs to be in there. I believe he did like a craft beer Hall of Fame with just like different beers, and Celis White's in there, but I think Pierre Celis needs to get in. But all of these candidates are great. You can't say a bad word about, any of these candidates. So whoever gets in is definitely worthy. But it's a Hall of Fame. You can't put everybody in all at once.
Yeah, we did Bill Belichick anybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I want to see your ballot, young man.
Which, going back to that with Bill Belichick, how crazy is that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like the media probably got the hate for it, and it's kind of like, did he spy? Did they spy?
Yeah.
You really don't know, but it's kind of like, dude's got 6 Super Bowls. He's got 8 Super Bowls. We count the 2 Giants.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
that's a 50 cent pettiness right there. That's some petty shit.
That is really like how he's not like in there. So it wasn't Robert Kraft like.
Yeah, he's not in there either.
He's not in there either. But he was nominated, right? He was on the ballot before, and he didn't get in. And so it's kind of like some New England hate, maybe. But I guess they just didn't hate Al Davis. They hate the Patriots too. So
yeah,
I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's kind of. I'm not even watching the NFL. And I know Bill Belichick should be in there. Like, that's just kind of crazy to me. Let's see here. Let's go take a little international on this one.
Yeah, all right.
So Germany, because you don't have beer without Germany for the most part. Well, you have beer going back to Mesopotamia, but still Germany. Everybody thinks so. They're seeing beer sales sink to a 30-year low as consumers cut spending. So a lot of times we hear this stuff here in the States, and it's not just here, it's around the world in certain areas. I think the only ones that probably aren't cutting beer is probably the Czechs. I think the Czechs just keep drinking regardless. So, but outside of there, people are cutting back, it seems. So just kind of interesting. They said their sales fell by 5.8% year on year. Exports declined by 7%. Now, some of the export stuff, I don't know if that's playing with some of the tariff type things or not, but
could be.
It's just interesting just to see they're dropping off on their beer.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed, like if you go towards the bottom, that like NA beers and I think it said like beer-based mixed drinks that now exceeded 10%, and I know a lot of German breweries put out in NA. It's not like here. Right. So that's pretty good. Like that's increasing. So you just wonder, if that's going to wind up being here too.
Yeah, I mean it could, because you are seeing the NA, you're seeing the RTDs, you're seeing the THC, you're seeing different things. It's kind of like some of the younger youth drinkers are looking for different variety than just maybe beer, wine, or liquor, so to speak, right? So, but every culture is going to try to define what they're going to be and what they're going to drink and all that kind of stuff. So, not too surprising. There's just beer being the number 3 drink in the world. It's kind of weird seeing it take a hit. It's behind water and tea, which I always thought coffee would have been second. Yeah, no, coffee is like 4th, I guess. So, But so it's just interesting because it's not just here that we're actually seeing that. Joe, as a Seahawks fan, F the patch, but the jokes he's not in. Yeah, stupid as could be, like Dave said, incredibly petty and gross. Yeah, and it's definitely a level of pet. It's almost like Hall of Fames. Yeah. Obviously, the writers are writing about it, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball. But I almost feel like they should have more of a limited role to decide who gets in, and it should be more from the association, the players, the coaches, the general manager. It should be coming from inside the leagues more, because they're the ones that actually played the game and dealt with a lot more than the writers that just covered. So, I was never a huge Bill Belichick person, even though I do have the Giants helmet behind me with the LT autograph on it, but I was a fan of LT. I was a fan of the part. I didn't really know as much about Belichick back then. It was more Parcells and LT and Harry Carson and, all the people they had back then. So, let's see here. And then we'll get this one. So for those of you that like to I don't even know if people even read the USA Today as much anymore. But USA Today, they got their 10 best awards that are currently running. St. Louis actually earned 4 nods in the categories. St. Louis Beer Scene, they were nominated up for Best Beer City, Best Brew Pub, Best New Brewery, Best Brewery Tour. So the Brewery Tour for Anheuser-Busch, Best New Brewery for Blue Jay, Brew Pub for Perennial, and Best Beer City for just St. Louis, right? So kind of interesting to kind of see, because this kind of sets up, to see what kind of places you might want to see if you're visiting these cities. But you can actually go out here on USA Today and go to the Best Choice Awards, and it'll actually give you the different categories, and you can kind of vote if you wanted to vote into the beer stuff. When you scroll down here, it gives you the Best Beer Bar, Best Beer City, Best Beer Festival, which I feel like the Best Beer Festival, every time I kind of see it, it's going to be usually either the one the Great American Beer Festival is going to be high up there, or Barrel and Flow is going to be high up there usually. The Barrel and Flow is one of the last few years. Now, Best of the Belgians Beer Fest will be an interesting one to go to. Delray Beach, I like the Belgians. We both had Brews Beers one. Broogaloo is being ranked up there from North Carolina. California Brewers Festival. But there you go, Chicago Festival of Wood and Barrel Aged Beer. So you can vote on that one there too. Firestone Walker, we talked about that one. That's also being listed. Florida Craft Beer Festival.
One of the people in this piece that they quote is good friend of mine, Brian, who from 3-1 Pour. So one of these days we're going to have to get Brian on and talk about, because he's always trying to get me to come down to St. Louis and check them out, because all the stuff that he sent me has been phenomenal.
Yeah, St. Louis does some great stuff for sure. Great taste of the Midwest. We're Midwest Beers of Madison, Wisconsin. They're nominated. Kill the Lice, Michigan Winter Beer Festival, another Midwest one. New York State Craft. Oh, look at that, Joe, right in your home area. There you go, Buffalo, New York. Yeah, so you can actually go out there and see the different ones and put a vote on. I did not have West Virginia coming up on my bingo card to be nominated for one, but
but look at them.
I'm a Mountaineer, so let's go.
I'm gonna grab another one real quick.
All right. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Joseph? Welcome, my friend. I love Miller Dragon Draft and Rickards Pale Ale. Thank you. Yeah, the Rickards Pale Ale was sent to me by my buddy Shane from Shane's Craft Beer Reviews. If you haven't checked him out, check out Shane. He's up in Ontario in the Niagara area. But it's funny, I actually had that on draft when I was at Niagara Falls. I didn't even know it was a macro. It was just like, oh, this looks interesting. And I thought it was pretty decent. Then when he sent it to me, I did the review on it. Miller Genuine Drafts, I mean, that goes back to me being in college back in the day. Back in the 90s, that was the thing we drank a lot of for sure. All right, Joe. Great to see you, brothers. Thank you.
All right, and, take care of yourself.
Too. And go Seahawks. He's a Seahawks fan. He's in Buffalo. I mean, if you're a Buffalo, you almost got to find another team to root for now, because Buffalo just seems to not be able to get across the finish line. I thought this year they would actually have a good shot with the Chiefs not going, but c'est la vie is what happens, right? And let's see here. Oh, the other thing I had on here, I didn't have a video for a tab to open up, but Yuengling arrives in Iowa. So Yuengling is now finally hit Iowa. The funny thing with Yuengling is just it's still not in every state. I get a kick out. Like, you're like the oldest brewery in America. How are you not in every state by now? But again, they're still ranked as a craft brewery, so they're not trying to be, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, how long did it take to get Coors, all the states?
Yeah. I mean, it was at least through the 70s, because that's when Smokey had to run it. Bandit had to run it, and Smokey was chasing them. So we grabbed me another beer too.
Yeah.
I'm going to crack open one of the Firestone Walker Union Jacks. This is one you really dug this one too. I thought it was decent. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I was The Firestone IPA you had earlier was one of my ones I really liked from them. As far as it went for the IPA mix pack, it was just so easy drinking of an IPA. Let me see here. Brewers Association. Mm-hmm. So the growth of non-alcoholic beer, the last two stories we have would be like the NA beer stories, right? So they actually came out with how fast it's actually growing with the growth of the NA thing. And it's almost like if you're a brewery, you've got to almost be partaking in this as your next bastion of survival as a brewery out there, which was interesting. When I was reading it was the chart they actually had out there. So they had a chart here. They worked in different groups, agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And it was kind of interesting, right? Because we talk about like the younger generation as far as what they're kind of drinking out there, the millennials, the Gen Z. The question was here in the next 12 months, I intend to make a conscious effort to cut back on how much I consume alcohol, right? So we knew Gen Z was going to kind of be up there, right? When you look at their block and what they're actually doing, that's to strongly agree. And then you knew the millennials were there. But look at Gen X. Gen X is not really off by that much.
No.
As well. So it's almost like, we're right just off of what they actually are here. So, they're going to say what, about 20% of the millennials, about 20% of them, and then we're probably about 18% or something. So that was kind of surprising. The boomers like, hell no, I'm going to stick to drinking.
I made it this long.
The way things are happening in the world, I'm not going to stop now. I don't want to be here if shit goes bad. So the boomers stay locked in. You look at the male and female ratio, women are slightly higher than the males about going to the NA type route. Total population of 21 plus is right there, kind of not really right across almost, not really too far off with the number there as well. So you do see in the numbers, NA, you got to be conscious of it, whether it's you making it or whether it's you teaming up with someone to make it. The next story I'll talk about here is a thing that we're both affiliated with. But you're looking at it over time. You got to be thinking, hey, well, do we need to actually be here in kind of this type of situation? So
as we're talking about that, I cracked open the 805 from Firestone Walker, which is the non-alcoholic version of their 805. And that's a solid beer. I mean, it's something that's like really good. For me, not that I want to, but, I had my physical this week and got some numbers back that I need to be a little more careful about, what I'm putting in. So I'm going to have a little more NAs down the road, but it's a really good beer.
And that's the thing, as they go through, I think, and as they refine more and more of these, we're going to be surprised by how good some of these are actually going to be coming out and be in comparison to things. So again, we've talked about it many a time. Us growing up, we're close in age here. Yeah. We came up through the whole O'Doul's and St. Pauli's growing on, kind of all the rough stuff. Compared to where we're at now, it is night and day. Yeah.
Like, God, if you gave me a Sharps back then, I'm like, this is dog shit. You would never drink that. But like this, some of the stuff that we've had from Go, some of the stuff I had last month when I wasn't drinking is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely making a difference there. Speaking of Go, that's our last news story here. So I'll pull that up, which is encouraging because Go, they're actually raising funding now to actually do more expansion along those lines. So this was just announced. I don't know if you saw this earlier today, but there was a story about them getting a new funding that were taking place, and it's going to open up more opportunities for them. Go has now, since beginning distribution of 2024, expanded into 32 states, 8,000 retail locations, Costco, Kroger, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Total Wine, Jewel, which is where you're at, Albertsons, Wegmans, and Meijer, and more I'm sure are coming. So they've been knocking the ball out of the park. Again, Athletic is out there. They're kind of the behemoth, so to speak. But pound for pound, if I got to say what NA brewery has the most consistency across their full line, it's got to be Go Brewing in my book. You know? Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff, you know, we talk plenty of times how much we love their sour, the new school sour, but everything I've had from them is good.
Yeah.
And now, unfortunately for them, but in the last couple of years, there's more breweries that are putting out some really solid stuff. So I don't drink as much of Go as I used to because there's other things you want to try. It's like the earlier days of craft beer. Like, oh, this person's got something new. This one has something new. I want to try that. And there's a lot of really good ones out there. Like this one I'm having now from Firestone Walker. We had another local brewery in Illinois, Pipeworks, put out a double IPA NA that was fantastic.
Yeah. And one of the cool things with the Go model is that you don't have to, if you're a brewery, if you don't want to get into doing the non-alcoholic beer, you could team up with them and they'll provide their product at your brewery.
Yeah.
And so you can cost share with them along those lines. So, you know, a lot of breweries, if you're a smaller one, you don't want to tie up a tank or whatever to do NA beer. There's an opportunity for you as well. And I think that's where Go comes in with some of the success on how they're kind of doing that, working with some of the other breweries. And
I mean, it's not around all the time, but they do a collab with Hop Butcher here in Chicago. It's called Melon Baller, and it's a non-alcoholic beer. So made in, you know, collaboration, Hop Butcher and Go Brewing. And it's just like this watermelon like beer, and it's delicious. So I don't know if that's going to be more like a summer thing when the fruit's in season, but I'd love to see more collabs like that, because I bought it at my Hop Butcher because I could walk there, and it's a phenomenal beer.
Yeah. So you know, for those of you that might be skeptical and trying some of the NA beers, I say try to give it a shot if you can. You know, a lot of places, if you don't want to get a full type thing and you got like a make your own 6-pack type place, you might be able to go in and just throw one in your 6-pack to try out, you know, and just kind of work it in. You might be surprised on the results you actually get from a lot of them. So I've been pretty pleased myself, and you know, I still work it in. I don't, you know, it's funny because people think, oh, you guys do beer challenge, you drink all the time. Like, no, a lot of the beer people don't drink all the time. It's kind of like, you know, we drink maybe more towards the weekend, or when we shoot a video for that and everything. A lot of stuff we have is actually even recorded ahead of time. So, you know, it's a planning thing because you have to work moderation in. Because I've seen some people that do drink all the time, and it's not a good outcome. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you try to tell them to pump the brakes and all that kind of stuff too. It's definitely can take a toll on you. So,
well, I'm going to do a video this week of a beer that's probably it's in the top 2 or 3 biggest beers in the country, and I've never had it, but I'm going to try Michelob Ultra, and I know that's not going to go good.
You never had Mich Ultra?
I have never had a Mich Ultra in my life.
Okay.
And I have a can in my beer fridge that I'll do a video this week, but I know that's not going to go well.
That's going to be interesting to see. I mean, you might surprise yourself. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I can't imagine that going well.
Well, it's funny. I had a thing when I was at the store last week. I was like, I had like a Jaws type moment because the can was actually there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a Gansett. And I got me a Gansett. Then I'm going to do like a shout out to Quint type review.
Oh, you had to do that last year, because last year was the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
I didn't even realize it though. So it was kind of like, it was just, I was actually there. I was like, you know what? Let me get a Gansett. I haven't done that in a long time. So I've never done a review on the channel, but I haven't had one in a good amount of time either. So, but so lots of good stuff there. Well, that's really the beer news stories that we have for the week. Anything you want to add or anything else missed, Dave? Or
no, that was it. Like, you know, I talked about the bear shit last week on my show. It's like, dude, what were you guys thinking? What the hell were you thinking? I'm trying to think of what I had for beer news that I have on my gig coming up this weekend. I recorded it already, but I kind of forgot it. Let me see if I had anything new. No, I didn't have too much else that we didn't talk about here.
Okay. Well, here on my channel Thursday, I'll be back with Todd. We'll be doing Thirsty Thursday, and
all right,
we've been doing some of the beer stuff there. We've actually been having some fun doing some a new game or thing I've done. It's like beer or drink association, I should say. So we're kind of going through word association, but like with different type of beers or drinks, and what's the first word that pops in your head type thing. And there's been some interesting answers and stuff. So definitely bringing back some memories for some folks. But outside of that, nothing else really too much, as I still get a cramp in my leg here for some reason. You're trying to find out what cramp. You ever do that like when you're in a meeting and it's like you get a cramp and you're trying to stretch out under the table and like, are you all right over there? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Go ahead.
I've got a Charlie horse here. Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch. Yeah. Outside of that, no, I'll be reloading for new guests to come on. I don't have anybody lined up right now, but that'll change usually pretty quickly on stuff. So we'll be looking to get some new people on. Great opportunity. I said, I appreciate Em for what she's been doing. Em from Radcraft. Yeah, you got to give her a shout out. And Bruised Beers was awesome to have on. So Blue Ox was great. So there'll be some other guests we'll be working with, I'm sure. And then some other ones to reach out to here. But I'm almost kind of happy to be in the lull right now, just to kind of do some planning type thing and nothing like trying to race around last second. Got some new stuff for the channel we're bringing out. I'm going to actually launch a new series. I think it might start tomorrow if I can get around to it, but it's going to be straight out of the cellar Sundays, where I'm going to pull a cellar beer and do a live stream, I think. All right. Because I need to start working through the cellar on my beers. Yeah. Gotta just do it. So that might be something new you'll see out here. I also want to start a series called Drinking the Classic, where I'll be doing a video if I can do it once a week, it'd be great, but maybe like once a month right now, where I'll get like a classic beer to actually enjoy, right? So just to give a shout out to the OGs, working on a few other things, but yeah, and you're going to see a lot of different updated. I decided in 2026 to do some updates to the channel and some different things, so stay tuned for all of that. But no, everything else is good moving forward. Appreciate everybody that always tunes in and people joining here, joining on the Facebook page, joining on TikTok, Instagram. You guys have been awesome with all the different support and stuff. So keep on joining there. If you're on the Instagram with me, I do have the Rod J Beer Ventures group that you can actually join as well. If you're here on YouTube, of course, hit me up on the community page. Put some of your thoughts on what the community page I have now. You as a actual subscriber to the channel can post things there as well too. So if there's beers you want me to try to get, or different things you want me to look at, you can actually put comments out there now so I can see those. But yeah, everything forward here for 2026, so to speak. And please, if you have the power, send some warm weather. I would really enjoy it.
So not sitting here with my warm weather hat on. Shit.
I'm tired of waking up when it's like 4 degrees, and like if you go outside, it's -4 type thing. So send some warm weather to Cincinnati, send some warm weather to Chicago, and that's really all I got for right now. So I guess we're going to wrap up for the night. Thanks for everybody that tuned in, and definitely look forward to catching up with you guys soon.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. It's been a ride. Rod J and Daisy, we here with pride. Midwest Beer Talk as we glide. Catch us again. Don't let this vibe slide. Like and subscribe. It's the key. Rod J Beverages. Join our spree. Big in front, we got the flow. Catch us live. The good times grow.